This video is in reference to the Motorcycle Monitoring Senior Design. My name is LJ Dudley, my partner's name is Chad Albertson, and our advisor is Jason Sternhagen. The primary purpose of this video is to discuss drawbacks into motorcycle accessories and why current aftermarket solutions are inadequate. The first issues to be addressed are the inaccuracies in the stock speedometer and tachometer. Depending on the motorcycle, a 10% error could be a result of 500 to 1,000 RPMs off of what the actual engine speed is. And the speedometer, however, a 10% inaccuracy could be anywhere from 5 to 8 miles an hour off of the true speed. And I can say from experience that this is not a legitimate excuse to have your speed be above that of the speed limit. There are a couple of solutions available for this. The first being a total replacement of both speedometer and tachometer in a replacement unit. This is one from Dakota Digital based out of Sioux Falls. They replace your entire gauge cluster with an aftermarket solution. One of the biggest problems with this is that the speedometer is going to have to be calibrated per motorcycle, and the engine RPM is not always going to be within the range of what your motorcycle is capable of. A lot of sport bikes are going to be able to do more than what this gauge cluster is capable of as far as 8,000 RPM. The typical sport bike is going to be able to do 14,000 RPM, so you're going to be missing out on a good chunk of your RPM range. The second aftermarket solution is called a speedo healer. The functionality of this unit is to interface between your stock speedometer and the wheel pickup sensor and alter this signal so that it represents the true calibration of what your motorcycle is achieving for mile per hour. The issue with this is that it does have to be calibrated per an individual motorcycle, and the cost for both aftermarket solutions is relatively expensive for what you're achieving. The Speedo Healer is $117, and the aftermarket gauge cluster is around $650 once you have it shipped. The next issue is in regards to motorcycle cruise control systems. The majority of motorcycles that have been produced and are produced today do not come with any type of cruise control. There are aftermarket solutions available, but most are either inadequate or impractical for day-to-day use. The first of them being the cramp buster. The cramp buster only allows for the holding of the position of the throttle, and you still need to have your hand present on the handlebars for this solution to work. It is relatively expensive, but does not do a whole lot for actually being a cruise control. The second solution is called the Throttlemeister Throttle Lock. This throttle lock does exactly what it says. It locks the throttle in a set position, so you can take your hands off the handlebars completely, but it also raises the safety concern when if a sudden stop needs to be made or the clutch is pulled in, the throttle is still going to be locked in the same position and you are not able to slow down the motor. This solution is substantially more expensive. It's for the motorcycle that we're looking at, a Suzuki Bandit. It's $150, and neither of these solutions are optimal.
Another issue with standard motorcycles is the fuel monitoring system. Many motorcycles do not have true fuel gauges. For instance, the bike LJ had previously mentioned, the Suzuki Bandit does not have a fuel gauge, but instead has fuel indicator levels. This system indicates how much fuel is remaining with 4 levels: full, 3/4, half, and 1/4. These levels do not provide a true indication of the fuel level because the tank is not a uniform shape. The top half of most tanks in motorcycles are larger than the bottom half due to their irregular shape. This can be a problem due to the small tank size and thus short range of motorcycles. You don't really know how much distance you can go before you need to refuel. I've actually been in situations before where my tank very, very quickly went from a half tank to indicating where it's empty while I'm going down the interstate, and I have to frantically try and remember where the nearest gas station is while I'm running on reserve, which I to this day do not even know how far my reserve can take me. And in addition to this, there is not really a aftermarket system available to increase the accuracy of the fuel consumption and provide a true fuel range of the system. There is also a lack of aftermarket solutions for measuring the performance of a motorcycle and its rider. It is extremely difficult to get numerical representation of a bike's acceleration and braking. To get measured performance specifications, a motorcycle would have to be taken to a location that has a dynamometer. In addition, it is difficult to get real-world performance values of a bike, such as 0 to 60 and quarter-mile times, without going to a track. This information can be useful not only to see how a bike is running, whether it is lean or rich, but also to see how a rider is progressing in ability. This information could be used in comparing one motorcycle and one rider to another. In closing, most of the problems already have individual solutions that can be obtained, but there is no single system that integrates all the components. Thanks for watching.